we see where St Peter relocated to Rome, and he went to where the centre of the Roman Empire was, and we could see the same pattern occurring here in Ireland. We could see where apparently there was 5 kingdoms in Ireland at the time, and apparently Leinster was the first that was targeted, and it was targeted by St Ailbe was the man who was in charge of the missionaries that first came to Leinster. And we see that there was again, like the way St Peter targeted Rome, the same thing occurred in Leinster. The capital of Leinster at that time, well, the seat of where the King of Leinster lived at that time was Nausnareid. And there was a very important, one of the first early Christian missionaries operating in Leinster was a man called St Ailbe. And St Ailbe built a church very close to Nausnareid, and the church was called Kill Auxilius, and today we know it as Killikee, right very close to Naas. We see the same pattern in Ulster, where the capital of Ulster was Eamon or Navan Fort, just outside Armagh. And we see St Patrick targeting or building his most important church at Armagh. We also are mindful of the early Christians, the way that they picked sites of Christian religious significance. Now we see that all over the Roman Empire, the early Christian world at that time. It's very evident in Israel, the Holy Land today, where we can see that there's a synagogue on a site. Before that, there's probably the ruins of a mosque, and then if you go dig even deeper, you probably will come across the evidence of a church. And even before that, you're back to a synagogue again, and before that again, probably a temple. The same pattern was occurring here in Ireland, where we saw Paul and I worked on a project in Cork some years ago, where there was a holy well, St Coca's well, and the church, the early Christian church, was built beside St Coca's well. Clane's typical. There was a bull and stone here in Clane, which was the centre of pre-Christian religious activity. And here we have this very important site to St Ailbe here. So basically we see the pattern all over in the early Christian